What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ninth installment of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra, the secondary show of the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, which you guys can listen to each and every Saturday or Sunday throughout the weekend, either or. Here we are for your Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm DABA, of course. Joining me this week is King Kenny. What's going on, man?
And yet again, here we are. Here we are, man.
Yeah, I think we should.
Ninth show already?
The ninth show of the second of Extra. Yeah, wow. That's insane.
And we've never missed 1 week, so like that's 9 weeks straight, bro. That's a pretty good accomplishment, I'd say.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And Kenny's joining me again this week for the news. And honestly, dude, I think we should make you the honorary second member of doing Extra properly.
You know what?
You've been on almost every week now.
Yes. Get used to seeing this, okay? Because this is the new dynamic duo now. This is it. This is our show. So
right here.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, lay that stamp down. But guys, as you guys know, you guys already know this. For those watching and listening, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on this series whenever we do drop sometime throughout the week for your news and for extra content from us. Like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever. Do any of those things. If you haven't done so already, you can check out episode 35 from this past week or any of our older episodes in the archives using any of the platforms we are available on that I mention every week, as well as visiting our own website, anchor.fm/wrestling-hypothesis. I wasn't able to join the latest episode from this past weekend. They carried the boatload of the show, and you guys did a great job on that. Very good job. You guys killed it with this episode.
Yeah, I feel like it was one of our better episodes, man. Seriously. Like I didn't honestly, I didn't feel like we should, do a show because of the, whole news thing, but I think we did a good job of kind of tying it together with, with what's been in the news and with the Dominic thing. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some really good discussions there. So like I said, guys, for those listening, check it out. The latest episode from this past weekend. Some disappointing news to start off this episode, though I'm sure the WWE diehards out there disagree and think that this is just the best news ever, and that is that Jeff Hardy, the current Intercontinental Champion over in WWE, signed a new contract extension to stay on board with the company. He himself came out with the news this past Monday in a video on social media that he released. He also stated in that same video that as soon as crowds return, so does his old entrance theme, No More Words, which was an old theme that he had in the tail end of his first run with the promotion back in the late 2000s. He says that it was a part of him re-signing. He knows that we all want it to return. I will say that is a theme I do miss a lot, and if we end up getting that theme again soon, then that's great. That being said, that is the only positive I see to come out of this, as Hardy shouldn't have re-signed with WWE. I get that he is very injury prone and it feels like he is always on the shelf, and that's why they are reluctant to do anything substantial with the guy. But he is a marketable star, and he is also one of the bigger names you have under contract. And up to this point, not a whole lot of highlights to come out of his current run since he returned alongside Matt Hardy in 2017. He's won a few titles, sure, but who really remembers them? I hope now that he's staying put, he can make the IC title worth something like it used to, but I really would not hold my breath on it.
Yes, you hit it right on the head, buddy. And for those of you who don't understand how these contracts work, right? So Jeff was injured for a significant amount of time, right? And then once he came back, all that time that he missed, they added it to the contract because as per the agreement, you can actually do that. Like you can actually add time to somebody else's contract. So that's pretty much what happened. And then on top of that, he re-signed with the company. So I don't want to hear any more excuses about the company using, Jeff in a shitty way. I don't want to hear anything about that. I want no excuse, zero, nothing. Because that's what we've been clamoring for the Hardys to leave for quite some time now. I mean, when they came back at WrestleMania that year, it was great and all, but this news came as a shock to me, man. It came as a shock to me, but then I started to think, what, like, is there something that brought this on? Like what could it be? Like what could it possibly be that would make Jeff stay? Or what are they offering you money? What is it? Stability?
They gave him the IC title again. Maybe that was a way to get leverage towards him re-signing with them. They've done that
it's
before. They would offer people
yeah,
title reigns who are on the brink of
yeah,
just leaving or staying.
that is true. That is true. But I never really felt like Jeff wanted to leave, to be honest with you. So, but hey, listen, I may be wrong. Maybe he did want to leave, but it didn't it didn't look like it to me, man. And I'm just shocked. Like like this. I don't like this news, man. Yeah. Let's just move on. This
Right.
it's just like it's depressing. It's demoralizing to see
Yeah.
one of your childhood heroes just. Oh my God, it
Let you
makes me
down like
sick,
that?
man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I'm saying this. But Matt is winning. Matt Hardy is winning right now.
It feels like
He's
Matt's been
winning.
winning for years, though.
Yes, he has. He has been. Because Jeff's biggest downfall is Jeff.
Yeah.
He screws himself, and this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
So to me, I guess this is par for the course because we've seen it for year after year after year. If it's not the drug issue, it's the drinking. If it's not the drinking, it's stupid decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when the fuck are you going to get it? Seriously.
Yeah,
But
and
hey,
it was a time, not that long ago where it felt where Matt Hardy was in that same boat as his brother Jeff, like where he was on a huge downward spiral year after year, not that long ago, and he was doing all these stupid and crazy decisions that potentially ruined his life. But honestly, he, unlike Jeff, although Jeff also to some extent has cleaned up his life for the better, although not to an extent like Matt Hardy has been.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt Hardy's was able to really turn his life around. He got married, got a few kids, reworked his gimmick. He's now one of the most. He's still relatively relevant in
Yeah.
the wrestling promotion. Like
They both.
since bringing the broken gimmick in
Yeah.
TNA
I
a few
mean,
years back.
they both still are. I don't think I think we both know Jeff is going to be relevant for a while longer. There's really no it definitely doesn't hurt Vince's bottom line if he signs Jeff. So I think from a business standpoint, it's a great move. It's a fantastic move. And look, no matter how much I hate this move, I gotta respect it because Jeff did what was best for himself, or he thought he did what was best for himself. But my thing is, I don't want to hear any excuses about they're using this person wrong. They're using Jeff wrong. They screw Jeff over. I don't want to hear it. I don't care how blatant it is. I don't care how crazy it is. I don't give a shit. Just like I don't give a shit about what happens to Sasha Banks in terms of her storylines and feuds and things. I don't care. You decided to resign again when you had all the leverage. You decided to sign. You decided that you wanted part of this. So now you made your bed, sleep in it. Same thing with Jeff. They can both sleep in it.
Hear that, folks? Kenny pretty much just summed it up there. So that's that. Also in the news, it is being reported as of Tuesday that officials in WWE are in talks apparently about their next plan when their contract expires with hosting events at the Amway Center, which is what they've been a part of for the past month over there. According to WrestleVotes, a small team was put together in the last week or so to figure out if running WWE programming from outdoor venues would be feasible for when their Thunderdome contract expires at the Amway Center. The idea would be that Raw and SmackDown would run from the same outdoor venue every week once they find one. This contract that they have currently with the Amway Center is set to expire at the end of October next month, and it looks unlikely that WWE would take the whole Thunderdome setup with them to an outdoor venue. Maybe they'll find a way, but to me it just kind of seems far-fetched and a little bit unrealistic. Maybe there's something I don't know at the moment, but who knows. As of now, there is still nothing set in stone on what or where the outdoor venue would be, but they are hoping for somewhere in the South, here in the United States, with consistently good weather. I have no problem if they, I have no problem with if they go through with having their weekly shows outside. It is going to be a nice change of pace, not just for WWE but pro wrestling in general. As now that I think about it, besides the one Dynamite episode where it was on Chris Jericho's cruise back in January this year, I can't name another time where a major wrestling promotion booked a televised event in an outdoor setting like that, at least not consistently. So Raw and SmackDown will definitely stand out in a big way, besides the lack of quality that happens on their weekly shows.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what they do from this standpoint, just because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to be able to allow fans to come back for a while, even a while longer after their Thunderdome contract ends. And in that case, I'm sorry, in that case, you've got to you really got to look at it from a business standpoint too. You know what I mean? Like, is it worth it to risk the, you know, the livelihoods of your stars for something like that? And the answer to them, you know, to that question, at least for Vince, is yes, it's worth it, because he has done that. And the reason why they are, see, they would have been in a position to allow fans in at this moment right now.
Oh yeah.
Had they taken precautions earlier, just like AEW, to do that. But because they didn't take precautions, it led them to this point.
Exactly.
So,
AEW took the proper precaution, and look at them, lo and behold, now. For over the past month or so, they've been able to have legit fans back in attendance, despite the low capacity, but they're able to.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, I'm pretty sure they would want to have that, you know. But like, ultimately, that's what I think, you know, this is. Like, once they start letting, you know, fans back in their venues at what, you know, 20 or 25% capacity, then, you know, this whole thing will become, you know, begin to tie together. But moving from one venue to another, you know, this and this and that, that's all just smoke and scream, man. It's I mean, I'm not surprised if they do. I don't think it adds another layer of greatness to their already stupid, bad product. But what do I know? I'm just the guy that's been watching this shit for what, all my life. So hey.
What is it? Yep, exactly. That's WWE's mindset right there. What the hell do we know?
Exactly.
We're not part of the wrestling business. We have no right to talk. If you look at these wrestlers and superstars all over social media, they're calling out the fans when, oh, you don't like a booking decision that they did on SmackDown this past week. They seem to have a huge problem with that garbage. Hey, we're watching it at the end of the day. We're the consumers. You gotta cater to our needs.
Well, yes, we are watching it, but you know, easy on the we there, Abba.
That guy right here.
Easy on the
guy right here. That's right. That's right. It's pretty much pick and choose at this point.
Exactly. Yes. See, that's much better. Much better.
Yeah. But yeah, like, just to close off on this news, hey, good on them if they decide to do it. But hey, like the Thunderdome, is it going to improve the quality of the shows? Absolutely not. Not one way or the other. Exactly. No way. So if they do it, then whatever. It's a case of whatever. All right. Now we got to touch on this one right here. So yeah, this is some more disappointing news, just like the Jeff Hardy re-signing thing. So Dave Meltzer was on Wrestling Observer Radio after Monday Night Raw this past week, and he noted that currently WWE has no plans in place in terms of any storyline or anything significant for one Keith Lee. Yeah. Yeah, and me and Kenny here, we touched on it on previous extra episodes about how Keith Lee would fare on the main roster on Monday Night Raw, and well, Kenny, I have to feel bad for you here, because you were the more optimistic out of the two of us. So that WWE would not do wrong by this man, because he has all the talent in the world, and he absolutely does. Don't get me wrong. Huge fan of Keith Lee. But this is Vince McMahon we're dealing with here. This doesn't come as a surprise to me, not one bit. One day I figured I was going to be reading an article like this, or a news item like this, that, hey, they have nothing for Keith Lee.
Abba, you tried to tell me. You tried to tell me. You warned me. You warned me. And I apologize because I got lost in the sauce. Okay? I got lost in the greatness of the greatest, biggest man that the company has ever seen. I got lost in his talent, and I should have looked more at the people that surrounded him, the sharks, the snakes, the dumb bastards that surrounded Keith Lee. I should have taken more of a look at that, and I didn't, and I apologize because, man, I look fucking stupid now. Like, what the? You don't have. Let me get this straight. You don't have plans for the biggest acquisition of the year. How?
One of the breakout stars of 2020 in wrestling, period. No.
How is this possible? Like, how? I can't even begin to. Oh my God! Wow! Like, oh, this is just so depressing, man. This is just so stupid.
It sounds so unfathomable that you would have no interest in having anything set up for a guy like as talented as Keith Lee. And this is the news we hear. It's not surprising to me personally because of the history that we've seen with when NXT talents that just seem to have so much potential and are deemed future world champions and the flag bearers for Raw and SmackDown in the coming years. Then we hear stories like this. They got nothing for them. And dude, we're not even a month in on Keith Lee on the main roster.
Right.
You think at the very least we get a few months out of him before he is labeled, okay, he's not much.
So you mean to tell me you mean to tell me that this man goes over Randy Orton, and then a few weeks later you got nothing? Yo.
This is Vince's world. I've said this before on the show. This is Vince's world. We're just living in it.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm see, what I'm gonna do is be a smart fan and just react with my money. Okay? And my time. And keep doing that. Because that's what I've been doing for the past few years. Reacting with the money and reacting with the time. I'm not watching any of the product, and I'm damn sure not paying for any of their products. So we gotta. Speaking of products, funny you mention that, man. We gotta take this with Richard because he's always buying their merchandise. We gotta get him to stop doing that. See, he's a delusional fan, man. See, people like Rich, man. People like Rich, they would never do that. They would never ease up on buying the merchandise because, you know, they're loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
To they need that shit.
We're loyal too. Don't get us wrong. We're diehard WWE fans, but
listen, easy on the loyal, okay? Because you can't be loyal. You can't be loyal to a company that isn't loyal to its fans.
Right.
You can't. They're not looking out for their fans. They don't give a shit. They don't care. So I'll keep reacting with the time, and with the and with the money. That's the best way.
That's the best way, exactly.
Yeah. It is just, demoralizing, man. To even think that Keith fucking Lee has no direction whatsoever. You know, even when he wasn't, in NXT, even when he was there was a sense that you got from him when he wasn't big yet, right? When he was just around, just fighting here and there, when he had no sense of direction in NXT, you could get a feeling that, okay, there's a sense of there's a sense of, change in the air,
Right.
like you could feel it. Like every time he came out, he was charismatic enough to, for you to pay attention to him, And you're telling me that a guy like that even when he was on NXT and had no sense of direction, that oozed that much charisma, right? We actually believe that he can do something. And you mean to tell me that you have nothing?
Right.
Absolutely nothing?
You thought when he was during his NXT run that he was just different. He was something that the higher ups in Vince and Kevin Dunn over there on the main roster were really going to get behind because
Right.
he had
Exactly.
those traits and qualities to him that the previous NXT talents, the ones that we thought were going to be the next big stars of the company, they just didn't have necessarily.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Keith Lee was, yeah, he was, but now you can add him to that list, at least as of right now. Like this is what Meltzer is reporting, that they have no plans in place for him. But hey, if recent history has shown us anything, I should say, I'm inclined to believe him. I'm inclined to believe Meltzer in this.
Yeah. Me too, man. Me too. Listen, there's some things that you take with a grain of salt, but this one, have you seen Keith Lee this past week? Because I didn't watch Monday Night Raw, so like, did you see him fight?
Yeah,
Was he on Monday
he
Night?
wrestled Drew McIntyre, the WWE champion, on Raw.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. So
that's
he's getting a spotlight, but
okay.
it went to a non-finish.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Well, it kind of had to though. If you're gonna book that match, you're not gonna have a
Right.
loser there. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well,
But
hey, listen. Right
yeah,
now, it remains to be seen because he's still facing somebody that's actually, a champion.
right.
And he's mixing it up with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. So, maybe it's still a little bit early to tell, but I can sort of feel it. I can sort of feel it. I mean, they changed this freaking, entrance music, man. Like, why?
His
Why would you
attire too.
change something about that? Yeah. It's not the, oh
And
God.
listen, don't get me wrong.
Oh God.
Those were significant like red flags that we noticed in the first few weeks of
Yes.
his main roster debut. But at the same time, you can overlook that as long as he's being pushed to the limit.
That's true.
No pun
No
intended
pun
there. Yeah,
intended.
but it just worked out that way. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But yeah, man, I just damn, I just have this queasy feeling in my stomach, man. I
Right.
hate it.
Mhm.
I just hate it. Damn.
Yeah, it's not looking too good right now.
Should we get the tombstone ready for Keith Lee's career?
We absolutely should.
Oh shit.
We should keep that on the back burner or something
All right.
for when it's properly timed. We did it for NXT. We could do it for Mr. Keith Lee over there.
All right. Well, here goes nothing. I'll say a prayer.
Right. Yeah, but that's that, and we'll leave it at that for today. And for the week, thanks for checking out our 9th edition of Wrestling Hypothesis Extra. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram for any news updates we post on there, as well as any updates on our weekly show and the status of that. We will be back, as always, with episode 36 this upcoming weekend. So until then, be safe, guys. Take care.
Deuces.